All right, hi everybody. Today we're going to do lessons 2-1, 2, and 3 all together. You are very familiar with all these topics, so I just want to make sure you do your work properly so you don't lose any points. So these are our 4 objectives for today. Write them down and check them off as and when you understand them. So let's start with the first one. How to recognize the terms in an equation. An equation is a math sentence with an equal sign. The terms of an equation are separated by plus or minus signs. So here's an equation, and can you guess how many terms there are in this equation? So I see an equal sign, a minus sign, and a plus sign. Therefore, there are 4 terms in this equation. Think of all these terms as tiles, and each tile is either positive or negative. The 26 is a positive 26, and we can rearrange these tiles. As long as you keep them on the same side of the equation, the sign will stay the same. The numbers 26 and the -5 are known as constant because their values always remain the same. So let's look at the rules for solving equations. We always solve equations by isolating the variable using inverse operations. So you need to clear the parentheses, fractions, and decimals. Then you combine like terms on either side of the equation. I want you to remember number 3, remove the lower variable first. Then isolate the term with the variable and write your answer as x equals 2 or as a set 2. We call this a solution set. So, and this is what we're going to be using in the algebra class, the solution set. So let's solve an equation with fractions using LCD. So here we have a fraction with 5 in the denominator and 4 in the other denominator. And the LCD for 5 and 4 is 20. So what you're going to do is you're going to rewrite the equation and put parentheses around each term. At this point, you are going to say, okay, since the LCD is 20, I am going to multiply each one of these by 20. You have to multiply every single term by 20. And when you multiply each term by 20, it so happens that 5 and 20 will cancel to give you 4. 4 and 20 will cancel to give you 5. And this simply multiplies out to be 60. So now you simplify and we get, oops, my mistake. We get 8b plus 15b is equal to 60. Combine the like terms, you get 23b equals 60. And then b is equal to 60 over 23, which you write as a mixed number. And then in your final answer, you're going to write it as a solution set. So keep this in mind. Moving on, try this one for yourself. Here, the LCD for 3 and 12 and 3 happens to be 12. So you're going to rewrite the equation and you're going to put parentheses around each term. So here I've put parentheses around each term. I have left the sign outside because the sign is, it's okay to leave it outside. And now I'm going to multiply each of these terms by the LCD. In this case, it happens to be 12. Notice that I write the numbers on the left side of the fraction for a reason. It just helps you see things better. So 3 and 12 cancels to give you 4. 12 and 12 cancels out to give you 1. And 3 and 12 cancels to give you 4. And now you multiply out the fractions. You get 4x minus 7x is equal to 8. Combine like terms, you get -3x equals 8. Divide both sides by -3 and you get x equals -8 over 3. And remember, we have to write the answer as a solution set. And that is your answer. Moving on, we now solve equations with decimals. you need to remove the decimal in this equation in order to solve it properly. Now, since this is an equation, you can multiply each term by the same number and nothing changes. The balance in the equation still remains there. So you are going to rewrite the equation. Oops, let me see what happened here. You're going to let me change this. You are going to rewrite the equation and say that I'm going to take the entire equation and multiply it by 10. This one, it's easy to multiply by 10 because that will remove the 0.5 as your decimal. When we simplify, when we multiply each term by 10, the first term becomes 5d, and then 30d, and then 50 equals 0. Now you combine like terms, negative 25d equals 50, d equals 50 over negative 25, d equals negative 2, and the solution set should have just negative 2 in it. And that is it. See you tomorrow. Bye.